to be frank, I didn't even hear them talk at all. I was just listening to music, to be honest. I was just like fiving. Like I don't. I think the guy knew I was fiving, and that's why he said what he said.
Not a diploma. It was a cloth wrap that goes on your chest like Chewbacca's belt. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know what
Hey
you're talking
Mel,
about.
What?
you having one for one
Like
Mel?
the sash or whatever.
I think it's called
That
a
makes
Pell. I think that's what it's actually called.
that makes zero sense to me. No, nerfed IRL. I was sprinting down the street and blacked out. Malik, please be careful. Please look after yourself. Don't go sprinting if you are deficient in your iron, okay? Make sure you have like a snack or something in you. It's called graduation.
If you're gonna run
Stole.
down,
Oh.
if you're gonna run down the area,
Huh.
at least just start screaming to get as much people attention as you need to get help.
Exactly.
As inconvenient, like worst case scenario, you're Enderford.
You need to like you need to get like a
What?
chunk of iron ore. That way, if you're ever iron deficient, you just take a little bite.
Right.
But you just eat
Me
like
too.
a metal bowl. Yeah.
You said worst case scenario you're an introvert, and my brain was like, wait, but why would you be inverted? Why would you want
But
to be inverted?
no, I mean like because like if you look at all like the self defense videos in that, and they say that if you're like getting taken or whatever or anything, the best thing to do is scream to get
Yeah,
everyone's
make as much
attention.
noise.
But worst case scenario is you're introvert because introverts don't want to get attention.
It's true.
And that's not like a simple like step. That's like a full on like jump over their flat out like what's it, comfort space? Yeah.
A chunk out of your side. What? Ha! You don't lose chunks of yourself, please. Please, everyone, keep whole ass chunks of your body on your body. Do not let those go away.
You have to talk to my cats about that one.
What? Why are you guys losing chunks of yourself? What the fuck?
Those cats be savages.
They just shed with age. We just lose chunks of ourselves.
No, no, no. From this point on, no. You're not allowed. You're not allowed to lose chunks of yourself. This must stay affixed to your body.
Now, guys, you can do the opposite out of.
No.
You can do the opposite out of spite.
You can like gain chunks of yourself. Like
Nah, to start losing out of spite.
Oh.
I think those are called tumors, Frog. You don't want
Yeah,
those.
I was like, you just gain. I was thinking you just grow extra appendages, like you grow like a million eyes and become like an eldritch being.
You have to do an entire side quest to get that ability, unfortunately.
Damn. Kind of sounds like the plot to Junji Ito. Like you just like slowly start growing additional limbs each day or something. Each morning you wake up, you have like another like eye or like arm or something.
That would be horrifying.
Yeah.
Hi, Kit Kat.
Let's get cat.
No idea what fell on, but luckily it was first aid trained, so it wasn't so bad. I'm glad it wasn't as bad as it could have been, but still, please be careful.
Man,
That
I'm
is most
lucky I'm trading
important.
first aid too because I get hurt pretty often.
Damn. All right. Mandate. Everyone in here has to get first aid certified, CPR certified, forklift certified.
I don't know
Twitch streaming
about like CPR, but like I'm not even trusted by a vehicle. I don't think I gained a cert. Forklift certified.
When I accidentally turn into a creature from the beyond. You know, it's just girly things.
Don't you hate it when you accidentally build a shelf?
Yeah. It's like, please help. I actually built a shelf. Shit, guess I'm out. I'm sorry, Z. It's not too late.
The forklift certified? Shit, guess I'm out. No, I bet if Zeke snaps his fingers, he becomes certified.
He would for real. he'd sit down, look at the test, and the test would be like, "Yep, you passed. Good job."
Good job.
Can woman date, but I can't man date.
Let's just people, man.
Di-
Yes,
Now should
absolutely.
Like,
Full
I have a
support the
feeling you
people
want to
date.
kiss, but what? No.
Ooh.
Cryptic True Best Crew. Oh, Al, I appreciate you.
You're too nice.
Yeah.
Have you ever get like a beloved family member, if not like a friend, go by like the same
Oh.
place every day and just be like, that place is haunted, I guarantee you, and then just keep at it?
Where did Nietzsche go?
Oh.
Huh?
What?
Oh, the thing kicked
Nietzsche's
me again.
disappeared from my screen.
The thing kicked me again. I think the
Oh.
thing just hates me. Hold on, it's connecting.
Okay. I was just like, wait a minute, because it was timed with me getting jarred, and I was like, oh no, did my redeem break the thing?
I think your redeem break the thing. It wasn't
Womp
me
womp.
this time.
Womp womp. First aid certified. I mean, fully, like, I can use an AED and even make a stretcher out of nothing but rope. I mean, Malik,
Awesome,
that doesn't
actually.
surprise me. You are very skilled. Hang on, I need to...
Turn them into pumpkin brah. Brah.
Let me...
I'm
let me
not
just post again.
edible.
Hang on.
My kind is off
Okay.
limits.
Are you joining now?
Say that again?
Technical difficulties. Please hold. Are you
I'm joining now.
reconnecting now? Okay.
Yeah. Do not feed.
No, do not feed me when I'm in the jar. Do not open. Okay. Thank well,
You just like open the jar and just like dump some jelly beans in there.
I don't even see you.
no,
Oh.
that's because you are covering me because I'm tiny and I'm trying to move you and I can't and I'm just
Nietzsche's in the
moving
jar-
shit
no.
from the jar.
We are playing with spooky powers beyond our comprehension. There's people growing, there's people shrinking, and my character's just here to witness the horror.
Oh my gosh. All right. There we go. Nietzsche, you can just go right there. Perfect. Okay. Problem solved. Hopefully, maybe.
Just.
Nietzsche was too big for the jar.
Though I do have a question, and I think the community is also curious. How do you breathe with no holes in the jar?
Magic.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah. I
You
forgot we
need
had that.
oxygen.
Why do you think I can shrink to fit in the jar?
Oh yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I didn't consider that.
Fair argument.
The back of the jar isn't there. That's honestly probably the simplest explanation.
It just reminds me of that one Gravity Fall episode where just one person that's always shows the right side of his face and never the left, in the 1 second that they find out that the left was basically like cut in half and little aliens was controlling the dude. They just blew the person up. Just
Kind of
self-struck.
You said that was what?
It's a Gravity Falls
Gravity
episode.
Falls?
Yeah.
That sounds like that straight up sounds like a Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah, no, it absolutely does. Yeah.
One of these times that we're on stream, like and doing this podcast, at the end for a little closing segment, we should make our own Twilight Zone episode just by randomly improvising something.
I
Bro.
mean, we tried to do that with our own cryptid, and I don't know if that worked particularly well.
Yeah.
It worked. What do you mean? It worked very well. I think it was
Yes.
good.
Yes. Nobody was yelling at us during the creation of that at all.
They're like, "What is going on?"
I love Gravity Falls. Yeah, listen, I've rewatched Gravity
Gravity Falls
Falls
is
at
so
least
good.
like 3 times, if not 4.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
I've
planning to
seen,
rewatch it
maybe,
again.
I've seen maybe 4 episodes of it. I
You
really
need to-
like it though. I need
It
to watch
pops.
it.
It pops off. Second season.
Hell yeah!
Like
I'll have to get into it. All my homies have talked to me about it because they're like, "Oh my god, Frog!" They didn't call me Frog because it's like real life and stuff. But they said, "Hey, Frog, like go watch Gravity Falls. You'd love it. You love cryptids and stuff." I was like, "Oh yeah, I do like that stuff." And then they're like, "Yeah," but I don't know. I need to.
I I call you Frog, and we've hung out in real life.
That is true. That is true. Some of my homies in real life do call me Frog. Like now that I'm thinking about it, probably about 40% of my homies in real life call me Frog. But never mind. I take that back.
I mean, I recently watched K-pop Hunters.
The K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yeah, that one actually was pretty
Mhm.
good. Like, I ain't even gonna lie.
It was pretty funny.
The facial expressions in that whole like movie was just wild.
Hell yeah. All right.
Malik the
Um,
Dorito is the best. Do we wanna get started with our thingies?
Frog, you wanna take the mic first?
Do I want to take the mic first?
Yeah.
I'll go second or third. How about that?
I can go first if that's what everyone
Okay.
wants.
I need a little prep time. I need to get myself.
Prep
Okay.
time, it's okay.
Oh no.
I wrote
no.
I wrote an entire document
No.
in
Oh no. Oh no.
you right?
No. No. No, we're at the 30-minute curse where it's back.
30-minute
It had been
curse.
fixed. It had been fixed, and now it is back, and it is infinite sadness. So hang on, please hold while things hopefully reconnect. And if not, I cry.
Certified
cry.
classic. Welcome to brah.
Are
This-
we still live?
Yeah, I mean I'm still
Has it-
live. Yeah.
No. I mean on my side. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I can
on
look.
yours,
Give me a
it's
second.
it's like a spinning circle. I don't see
Yeah.
what. Hold on, it's doing something.
I'm
New
I'm
development
hoping that we're still.
Yeah, I see
Have we recovered? Did
You
we recover?
recovered. Yeah, you recovered,
Oh,
yeah.
oh yes, yes.
Oh, we're back. Okay. Let's go. I found a way to have like disconnection protection on Twitch so that like hopefully, even if it does fully die, it'll come back faster. So.
Man, that sounds nice.
Okay, all right. It's probably gonna happen again in 30 minutes, and I'm sorry. I don't.
So what I'm hearing
I
is
don't
you
know.
want to go first.
You want me to go first? If Frog needs more time, I can go first.
Yeah, I mean I don't care. Like I can go either way
No.
because like mine's
no,
an
I got
actual
you.
cryptid. If you just want me like to do mine.
Do we want to start with cryptid and then we'll move on to the because me and Frog accidentally ended up with a similar topic, not the same. But
It's
there's
100%
technically
the
not
same,
cryptid.
guys.
That would be so funny if our topic actually was like in the same area though, and it was just each half of the area.
That would be really funny.
No,
Except I'm pretty sure what you have doesn't exist where I'm talking about.
Okay.
At that point, you should say it's like Resident Evil 2 and 3, just like the same place, just different areas. The A and B side.
Yeah, all of these stories connect to each other.
Like the Binding Isaac normal and then tainted characters. The same thing, but one's worse than the other. Did one of you do the Greffon monster? No.
Next time. That's what. Thank you for reminding me, Eek. I want to do that. I want to talk about that next time because I love Phasmo.
Okay, so I guess I start this out.
Yeah.
So,
Take it away, Nichi.
I'm doing this so this unfortunate town, I'm gonna mention that. This very unfortunate town named Fan Meter. It's a small population, not too bad. It's a normal day, right? But strange events started to occur in October 1903. The community have seen a winged creature terrorizing the town couple of nights in a row in 1 week. They're like, man, this big old thing is just causing trouble and we don't know what it is. Now, this thing looks like it has giant bat wings. To be frank, the picture makes it look like an Aerodactyl with like a laser beam. I'm not even like joking.
Nietzsche, you
But-
got a picture? You got a picture you can drop and we'll throw up on the screen?
Yeah. Let me see where I saved this picture
Hell
That's really
yeah.
good pictures.
because
Mine,
like
mine
it.
doesn't really have pictures because of just like the overall thing. I guess I could show pictures, but regardless, let's.
I mean, I usually
have
put
it
it in
up.
like a random place and just like, man, good luck.
Tracking. What are we doing? What is happening?
Is it down? Yeah.
Can't no scuff.
Let me send this. Scuff is always the biggest foe.
It is.
I feel like
it is because now my tracking's being scuffy.
I sent it in the chat.
Look at this little
Let me-
guy. Look at this little guy.
I don't
Don't
think
worry,
he's a
don't worry.
little
You'll
guy.
see it.
Now
Nah,
this
not
this
little
picture,
guy.
this picture I posted, it is like based on the book. Yes, there
Okay.
been a book, and that's mostly because people were a little weirded out by the fact that despite this thing having a full description of a bat, it literally looks like a dinosaur with laser beams, by the way. There's another old picture showing it shooting lasers, but we're going to ignore that part.
Mhm.
Now, a couple of accounts have recalled this creature shooting its laser beam, quote unquote, against people who try to shoot it down because, keep in mind, this simple little town, everybody believed in the Second Amendment with a full passion. So any strange thing that they see, they try to gun it down. But, you know, this thing seems like it's immune to bullets. Gotta get that, like, anti-barrier type deal.
Mhm.
Now,
Right there.
a couple of people kept dealing with this thing in a daily basis to a point where they're like, you know what, this whole town is just gonna like hunt this thing down. We're done with it. So the whole town band together. Picture the Beauty and the Beast scene where everybody got pitchforks and such, and they're like, we're gonna
Right,
stomp
yeah.
towards this thing. They found out that this creature had hid inside an abandoned coal mine that wasn't too far from the town.
Mhm.
Now, there has not been confirmed to be one but two beasts. So they're not only dealing with one silly little guy, they're dealing with two silly little guys. And they opened fire. They basically like opened fire in this abandoned coal mine. God knows what was in that coal mine. But
Okay. Hold up. Sorry. You don't start shooting in a coal mine. That shit's flammable. That shit's gonna
okay, and They-
fucking ignite.
they
They're gonna blow themselves up.
play the lead song here tonight. They
Yeah.
didn't care. They saw two giant creatures. They're like, we're just gonna gun that thing down because we're done with it. Now, despite what you think, the coal mine didn't probably catch fire, but didn't blow up or anything. It was pretty tame compared to like movies. Do you fuck around as a human to find out the consequences? Yeah. And now there's a sketch that has been done by Kevin Lee Nelson, which is,
Mhm.
as you see here, just a Aerodactyl with bat wings that have like laser on its forehead. Now they called this thing the Fan Meter Physitor because this thing only strikes at night and no one has ever got like 100% clear look at it. They just saw a thing that's messing around and they just started like opening fire.
Okay.
Now
I think a strip a pterodactyl bird. I mean, you know, I'm gonna let you finish, but like,
it's
yeah, I'd probably be a little scared too.
I mean, this is not just one though. There's like two.
Oh damn, there's multiple of them.
Wait, there's multiple?
There's two, yeah. someone that during the story, because I don't know if you guys like let it slip through your head.
Yes.
They not only caught one but two of these things. So there was two when they were shooting at the coal mine.
Oh my god.
And no, the coal mine did not collapse. It's safe. Hey, Dragon Lord, thank you for the hydrate and stretch. But no, this creature was pretty much safe. Now, before I go through like the second part story, I do want to mention that there's this Reddit Reddit user, Samura45, who said that they
Michi.
themselves, yeah.
Sorry, I'm really sorry to interrupt. I have to step away just super fast. I'll be back. You keep going, and I will pick up when I get back. Sorry, there's something I have to help housemates with. An emergency came up. I will.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
Dude, that let me just say this is like a quick side thing. So like that thing is massive, right?
It's
Like,
a massive, like, so, like, it's a little spoiling the other story, but
yeah.
there's this dude who basically dedicated his entire life and soul to hunting down this thing without a care. Why? Because he is super curious and he really wants to know if that thing was truly dead. And
There's dinosaurs in them there hills.
the dinosaurs in them hills, yeah. And like, it's so like that part didn't bother me. The part that like threw me off was the, oh no, this thing has a laser. That thing can shoot. Like what?
Yeah, that's kind of crazy to be like, yo, there's like a pterodactyl that's like living in like the mines of this area. It's like, no way. Oh yeah, and then also it fires fucking laser beams. So that's pretty crazy.
Like it,
Oh, and there's two of them.
like it, because like if someone told me it was just like an Aerodactyl, I would believe it. It's like, okay, a bad Aerodactyl, not that bad. No, it shoots lasers. I would have thought you were like sniffing like glue or something. Like, bro, like
Mean.
everything seemed realistic until the laser point, like it
Bro,
came
it's
to
literally
thing.
not allowed to do that. We need to get a referee or something. Get it like a genetic referee and tell them this isn't okay. The thing is massive, right? There's already multiple of them, right? It's not like it's like a one of a kind thing. It's not like a one off. It's like, bro, these are giant prehistoric dinosaurs living in caves and firing lasers, man. Like that's I'm gonna need a rule book. That's all I'm saying.
Like it's like a cockroach, right? Everybody's okay with the cockroach until it starts flying. That's when it's a problem. Like everyone's okay if a beetle fly. Everyone's okay if like a butterfly flies. But when it's a cockroach, nah, that's not fair game. There has to be
Dude,
like some type of rule against
I have
this.
such a strong dislike for cockroaches there. Like I don't
I think
like, I don't know, just in general, I'm
like
like,
I feel like if it's like for like feet tubers and that, like the models based on cockroaches are cool, but like when it's like an actual bug, like no, nope, get away from me. I think I'd rather take the rats than the flat out cockroaches. Why is it called
yeah.
cockroach?
You're
Bruh.
serious.
So apparently, right? Because looking this up a bit, apparently it originates from a Spanish word, carcho. I can't pronounce this. I might be butchering it, but it's
Could you put it in the chat?
yeah.
Cucaracha?
Yeah,
Like for roach? Yeah, yeah.
and
Like the song La Cucaracha, you know, where it's like ba-da-da-ba-ba, ba-da-da-ba-ba, ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba.
and it so basically, this word also differs from a Latin word, batala, peta, or something like that, which means an insect that shines in the light. And this mostly refers to its nocturnal habits and how they seem scurry away when light is turned on.
I mean, that is fair, yeah.
Yeah, so like this, I feel a
Bro, that's
cockroach is
hard.
scarier than any cryptid out there. Like imagine feeling a weird like something crawling on your hand and you look at it and it's just like cockroach. Like the amount of crisis it sent you in. I mean, that's not far fetched that an animal can fire a laser. Are you sure laser beams aren't? Hello, DVC, and no. So, as much as I would love to believe that this is from a Marvel's comic, and maybe like it's just people overthinking, but no, like multiple people have mentioned this, and there has been multiple accounts pointing out that hey, this thing has like a big thing on its forehead, and also it just shoots lasers just because. Like they never like
Pretty rad.
reading the stories. They never go in detail about the lasers part. They just like slide it in and expect us to accept it as fact. It's like when you're telling a story to your friend and then you slip in a detail and when they ask for like clarification, you just don't clarify on it and let them like put it together.
What would you do if like a country attacked, right? And they just like were riding on the back of these things and they were just like firing lasers from like the heads of pterodactyls. Would you fold? Like would you think that your country is gonna lose?
Now, I want to have the main character syndrome, also called MC syndrome, where I want to have the confidence that I can win my 1-1v1
Yeah.
because I feel it's the same. I like to take my logic from it's embarrassing, but the logic from the Garden of Sinners, one of the people who made the Fate series, that if you're
Yeah.
breathing it, you can die. There's a method. You just need to find it. It's
Hell yeah.
possible. It ain't it says it's bulletproof, but it doesn't say that it's unkillable. When was this? This was in 1903 during October in Van Meter, a small little town. I think it's small. I'm pretty sure
Probably small.
I'm pretty sure that it's small. Van Meter should be should it be in a city in Loa, if I'm pronouncing it right. Lowa, Loa,
You mean Iowa?
Iowa. That's how you pronounce it. I hate myself. Iowa. Leave me alone. If it
No,
breathes,
it's okay.
if it,
It's okay.
if it bleeds, we can kill it. Yes. 1960s was the first functional laser. Nah, war crimes are no. No. Maybe gas out the creature while it's not but still not a war crime. Bro. Listen,
It's tasty. We can fry it, frog. Mmm.
just because listen, look at it this way. Look at it this way. Bullets does piercing damage. There's no rule to say it's not affected by slash nor bludgeoning damage. So get the baseball bat and just start swinging. Now,
Nah, dude, I think a laser mounted pterodactyl is pretty hardcore though. I would definitely not want to fight one.
you
of
would
those.
have
It is.
you would have dodged
It
like
is.
from a metal a metal song or something, but no. Now this thing, starting with the Reddit story, Samra, 45. Now this person has caught this dinosaur-looking thing while driving to Cedar Rapids, if I'm reading that right.
Cedar Rapid?
Yeah. So he's Day with their mom is going through this area. But to start with a little background, they never cared about cryptids. To be frank, they think that it's just a pure baloney. They thought that ghosts didn't exist, and they were just like, man, all this is just people just on something, right? This person driving in the
Yes.
highway, going through a highway, they're going like 30 miles, and they see this big little flying thing going through the sky, and they look at it. They're like, "Huh." They turn their head back towards the thing. It's like, "Hold on, that's not a bird. That didn't seem normal." And it stuck by them for like a couple of months. And their brother was watching a show investigating this creature, and they showed the illustration that looks like that thing. He sat there frozen, and he's like, "Hey, I saw that thing. That thing, that thing was real." And he like went to his mom. He's like, "Hey, you seen this thing too? I pointed it out." And she was like, "Oh, yeah, I guess I seen that thing. It's this." And she sat there surprised. I gotta go. Meeting a friend online for Halo Reach. I respect that. Keep up the Halo grind. I love Halo.
Have fun, DBZ.
He saw the thing, and before he knew it, he was like super deep into cryptids and that. It's like a rabbit hole he fell into. Now, the actual story, which is at least an essay long.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is during the same time. This is like a full-on description of it. It was reported to be half human, half animal. With bat lanes, it lets off a powerful stench, and it's very scared of daylight, and it hates like any light, and it moves in super fast speed. To be frank, some people has probably like put the speed up to like 180 miles per hour, if not a little bit faster than
All
that.
right, all right.
Is that like flying, or is that like just in general?
So a lot of people, this is just a lot of people mentioning different things.
Mhm.
It says it's super fast, like way faster than like a typical car nat when frightened. So like I assume it's like at least 180 miles. If not, like a
Right.
little lower than that. But then again, how can you tell when you're looking at something that may or may not rip you to shreds?
Yeah.
You're not thinking about miles per hour. But this thing, and it also mentioned that it has a shot of blinding light from its horn head. Shots were fired each time. Now, the first shot by the person who shot this thing was a independent dealer U.G. Griffith. He shot this big thing, and all he said was he's a minor nuisance. Now, this being apparently took it offense and just like tanked the shots and just be like, haha, you can't hurt me, and then just goes away. Now the next night, a town doctor in the bank also saw the creature, and you want to take a guess what they did? They opened fire as
Shot at
well. They shot
Who
a
would've
book.
thought?
They also shot this invincible being. Now the following night, a person known as O.V. White, reportedly reportedly a dead eye with a gun, was awakened from his slumber above a hardware store. He saw this creature, and guess what he did? He also took a shot at this creature, which it did nothing once again. Then there's this other person who also mentioned that this creature hopped like a kangaroo. I don't know why that's like put there, but apparently someone thought that this thing was a kangaroo. A local school teacher also mentioned that it has to be like some like reptile like monster.
Mhm.
Now there has been a couple people wanting to do the pitchfork and torch gatherings, like
Chase it out of town.
yeah, basically, just these creatures have to be stormtroopers if they can't hit it or hurt it to hurt it. No, they
That thing
hit the
is like a
thing.
whole ass unit. It's like the size of a house.
They
It
hit
is.
it. They hit the thing. It just like did nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But no, they wanted to do the pitchfork treatment, and they were shooting at it while this thing was on top of a telephone pole, which is this picture right here. It can fly. Yeah, the thing can fly. Yeah, the thing flies. The thing can fly, and apparently it can hop like a kangaroo too. Apparently.
You know what? Okay, sorry. Hang on. Just the idea of something the size of a house, kangaroo hopping. I can only imagine the damage that it's doing to like the road as it's just like boing crash.
Have you?
I
Have
just
you?
imagine like the exchange they're having too, where it's like, I don't know, Jim. That was either a kangaroo or that was a giant pterodactyl. It was one of the two. I don't know.
Have you listened to the song "The Ultimate Showdown"? It just reminds me of like the first
No.
line, Godzilla just hopping around.
Oh
Like
my
yeah,
God.
the wingspan on this thing has to be fucking huge in order to be able to take off because the weight alone. So Ace, I'm glad that your house is the size of a house. That was good.
I mean, like I said, it says like a lot of people are saying it flies. Now, I don't want to say glide because there's only certain animals that can like fly like bats. Bats can fly to a degree. They just mostly glide. I know because a bat almost flew into me once. Um,
Aw.
funny story. I have a lot of good experience with animals. But yeah, this thing looked like it could like generally just fly like anytime it wants. Like I would doubt that it can't fly. I would doubt because they said that this thing goes super fast. So now they continue this story. They wanted to give the torch and pig for pitchfork and torch treatment. Put the Beauty and the Beast gift here. Um,
Yeah.
so the whole town was basically just taking up arms and just having it. They were treating this as if it was like World War, where they're just like in position, ready to shoot this thing down the second they spot it. They had this town locked up as if it was like an asylum. That's how ready they were. And and
Watch out, the kangaroo pterodactyl will be back tonight. It has a flashlight on its head. Be careful.
so northwest side of the fan meter, they charged near an old brickyard. J.L. Pat Jr. heard a noise down by an abandoned coal mine. This is when they assumed that this thing was in the coal mine. And instead of checking out and making 100% sure, they just started opening fire at that coal mine. They heard a strange sound and they just started open fire. No questions.
Wow.
They said there was
What a
plenty.
choice.
They said there was a huge noise, and it sounded as though Satan and its remnants of IMPs were coming forth for the battle. And it made news. They made the Disc Most Daily News on October 3rd, 1903. Now, the monster. Oh, you left again?
It disconnected. Hang on. Oops.
It is the second 30-minute mark. That makes sense. It's right on time.
My story becomes unskippable.
No.
Hang on. Let me just
I'm hanging on
Sorry,
the
no, we're gonna-
prayer.
hide this.
Oh, it hasn't hit yet. Damn.
30-minute
should-
curse hasn't hit. Yeah, I like how Godwin has like a time watch just waiting.
Is it are you connecting?
Give me a second.
We have another. All the stuff.
Okay, I connected. Hopefully you connected.
No, it's not letting me. Hang on. Oh no, there you are. Here you are. You are large. Back up. There we go. And there's Nietzsche back.
I'm back. Now, to continue on, this monster had been the second version of monster seems to be having a smaller variant, which in the brilliant light they sail away only for a return in the morning, and the men gathered to get rid of the earth of this creature. Which, by the way, the smaller version, I'm pretty sure the smaller version is the one that's like on the picture. I'm pretty sure, most likely. But this thing also can shoot lasers, but they also mentioned that this thing may or may not have sunken a Spanish fleet, which is an
What?
interesting.
Wait, hold up.
Yeah, back the fuck up. Hang on. You can just casually drop that.
Hold up. Okay. What year was this that it did this?
So I'm looking at the notes I took because I did many research, and I also like seen a couple of Reddit people talk about this. There's not a single date, but they said that this thing can basically take out a Spanish fleet when it wants to, and apparently some people say it has. They never like specified the event, but they have like just put that there. You guys are worried about that, but you're not worried about the laser part?
But like, you know, Malik does bring up a good point of, you know, poison. Could they not have poisoned a combination of pufferfish, a stonefish, a blue ring octopus, and a something jellyfish? I mean, granted, this is in Iowa, so you know, if you know anything about Iowa, it's right next to Ohio, and you don't got a lot of options there except for cornfields and coal.
I mean, it's a giant behind dinosaur, and keep in mind, it depends on how much poison enters your system before it kills you.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you can maybe do a small dose to somebody, and it won't kill. But like bees,
They need
bees
to
are
bring back, like,
technically
cannons or something. And give this creature a volley.
Right.
The Spanish fleet got called in from like 1776 because they were trying to like fire like a fucking volley at this creature.
I'm still like so tripped up by that. Just someone casually being like, ah yes, and it has wiped out the Spanish Armada as well. It's like, wait, what do you mean? Where's your source? Like, I need more details. You can't just casually say that.
Listen, my notes say, and I don't even remember where I took it. I have like at least 20 links.
No, I like to
No,
believe
no.
that. I feel like the missing Spanish gold that's like been like, like famed to be like in like whatever ocean it was famed to be in. I feel like
Yeah.
that's the reason why that gold went missing on its expedition is because the Van Meter monster came and blew him up.
Nishi, that's not a critique of you. That's not a critique of you. Because I
Oh,
have a feeling
no.
that wherever you found that, it was just someone casually being like, ah yes, and it wiped out the
Yeah, honestly, bro, I'm actually really glad you did say that because that's like one of the funniest things I've ever heard. I was like, that is awesome.
Now, then the Dead Zone said, aside from the unearthly noise in the bad odor, it seemed to just slowly descend from the shaft of the old mine, never to be seen again.
Mm-hmm.
Cyanide, I don't even think cyanide even affects this thing. I mean, I'd be on, like, as I was saying, like, before, bees are technically poisonous. It just doesn't affect people because, like I said, we're kind of big, and the poison is, like, little dose. Tiny little dose. It's not that bad.
From if I'm recalling the science logic from some random movie in the early 2000s where they figured out that Head and Shoulders kills the aliens. I think that as long as you are a hydrogen-based life form, cyanide is deadly to you in the right dosages.
Right, though, just keep in mind, this is giant. We're not even talking about,
this
like,
will,
the max thing. We're talking about the smaller version. This is a smaller variant. The bigger thing is, like,
Yes.
probably worse. Which, the bigger
Yes.
variant is what been being a nuisance to the town.
So you need like 20 elephants worth of cyanide to potentially kill it. Moving on the side.
Something tells me.
Yeah, evolution. You're right. That's what it was. And I'm sure that it is very very sound logic that I'm pulling from.
I mean, you can always scream, "Call me Blade," because I'm about to hunt this thing. Treat it like a Final Fantasy final boss, or no, not even the final boss. Treat it like it's a Ruby fight, Ruby or Emerald fight, and just let the fight be 2 hours long, unskippable.
Puke, you are a hydrogen-based life form.
Actually, yes.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's true.
No. No.
Or maybe it's carbon. Maybe it's carbon-based. I could be thinking of carbon.
I mean, you can
Carbon
always
is
like
what I meant,
you
not
can always
hydrogen.
you,
Wrong element.
you can always cut off the air supply. Air supply can really affect a lot of people.
Look, I'm doing my best, okay? I got most of the way there. I got like 90% of the way there. Give me that.
90%. Insert finger here. Or on there, you could, or alternatively, you can just launch me out of the cannon at that. The real that just sounds like some like Mario and Bowser inside story type crap.
You know, I feel like either Malik or Zeke, they've got it could probably have taken it out, but you know.
While the aliens in the movie were nitrogen based, this why they were weak to signal.
Yeah.
Or
I just remember they were doing the pointing on the periodic table, being like, and if you move this many from, I guess it was carbon, not hydrogen, so like my bad. This many from carbon, you land on cyanide, and then if you do this many from whatever the element was, you land on cellium, which is in Head and Shoulders, and there you go.
but what if it built like the xenomorph? What if just fighting it is it's not recommended at all. Like it's like the last thing you should do. Just-
Maybe it wasn't cyanide. I don't remember. Look. I got like 75% of the way there. Okay.
You want me to pull up the element table? I can pull it up right now.
I don't remember what it was. Arsenic. Was it arsenic? Thank you. I'm so glad that Zeke is here lurking.
Arsenic is. Hold on.
trying.
I'm trying to see where this is at. Arsenic should be. Is that AR? I'm looking for AR. Yeah, it's right by. It's.
Hey,
A
no,
for effort.
Ace. I went lower percentage. I said I got 75% of the way there.
They got a C.
Look.
From
I'm
50?
trying.
Listen, you
My
memorized the
type movement
table.
from
I
any
didn't.
element.
Night type movement from any type movement. What if we just made a turn-based RPG based on, like, you know, the periodic table? Only certain elements can affect the other.
I don't know. I don't know how this works. Okay, look, I tried taking chemistry and physics and I failed both of them, okay?
Listen, I'm just an art
But I
major.
still
I
graduated
don't
college with honors. So you know, I'm smart in sometimes. just not with science, okay?
I get all the compounds mixed up. I'm just gonna start mixing things here. I'm gonna make a little. I'm gonna make a little homunculus.
to
Give life to a little creature.
something tell. Why do I? Are
Rock
you
class, yeah.
hinting at? Are you hinting at Smile Friends episode?
No, I'm just talking about. I'm gonna make
Oh.
a little creature in a tube.
For some reason, that episode just like shows up in my mind every time like anyone mentions like
I
small.
do like that episode though. Yeah.
My favorite part is the
Okay,
two
that's
like
based.
animations classing. You can kill anything, just about anything, as long as you have enough of it. Listen. If the thing is bulletproof, any number times 0 is still gonna be 0. It's immune to bullets. I wouldn't see to use more bullets to kill it.
What if that thing just had like a really weird weakness? Like it was like pretty much immortal to everything, and it had this reputation of being unkillable. But then like a bee lands on it and stings it, and it has like a severe allergy to bees.
That kind of reminds me of the stupid
Someone
one.
throws a peanut at it.
It's like.
That's why does that remind me of like one Final Fantasy? I think it was a Final Fantasy boss where the boss is highly affected against healing items. So like if you use a healing item on the boss, you can like damage it severely, and it's like, bruh. Bulletproof isn't blast proof. That get hit by MCP. FF10. Okay. See, at least Seek remember. Yeah, like one of the bosses. Like the whole game was like you can use healing potions on the enemy. You ask yourself, man, why is this an option? It's stupid. And then you get to that boss like, oh.
Was it Sin? Was it when you were fighting Sin?
I don't remember which boss it was. It was a boss. Seek said Final Fantasy X. I have to like look at the boss.
Yeah, that's like one of the only Final Fantasy games I've played.
Also, as an analogy, just throw a brick at it. Yes.
Oh,
It was
Seymour.
Seymour,
Oh,
yeah.
Right. I did not like him. I did not like him at all.
So again, just any element in high enough quality will kill it. Will kill. It just isn't that high. That should be the end of
Healing
my.
until they die.
So he's considered undead. So healing undie, they die.
Congratulations, you are no
Hell
longer
yeah.
dead. Oh,
Sent you to the afterlife. Just. That
He
should
just
be
like
the
busts
end.
out a
of-
little first aid kit, and he like starts crying. He's like, no.
no, please.
No, just
Starts
get.
slapping him
just
with, like, Hello Kitty
scream.
Band-Aids.
Just scream, get healed, loser. The one time we're building a
Bringing
whole.
you back to life.
The one time when a full healer comp actually works.
Right.
But that should be the end of my wonderful story.
Hell yeah! You can't really hear it because I have a pop filter, or maybe you can kind of hear it. I was clapping.
Have you tried smacking the mic? You just say that's
Here,
clapping.
let me do that real quick for your listening pleasure.
Wrong thing. Good job, Frog.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
Thank you.
Imagine you doing everything in
You're
your
doing
power.
your power to take the thing up.
You can read it. It's your chat. It's your chat.
Take this thing down. I just get sniped by a lightning bolt out of nowhere. I mean, maybe the laser beam was super conductive. Or it did like to chill out on power poles, so I feel like those also are prone to get struck by lightning.
Or maybe you're a cleric and you finally made a divine intervention work.
That's also. Have you ever been a cleric or just any class that has like a strong connection to D, so like cleric, paladin, warlock, and done a religion check just out of panic and critted, and then go into your DM and be like, hey, but like, look, I critted, so like, can my god do something?
Divine intervention.
No,
Divine intervention is like a really fun rule. I've had that happen a couple times, but I played this warlock where my character's patron was honestly more of like an asshole than anything. So like typically his form of divine intervention was either putting us in an even worse situation because it's funny, or if I asked for something, it would like always be like genie rules. Like he'd be like, okay, and you'd just make the situation so much worse. I'm like, I hate him. I hate him.
I had a trickster fae god that summoned a stampede of owl bears.
Damn.
In one of the campaigns I'm in, everyone was tempted to say that maybe Hasna Squeaku was like the deity.
No.
Because I kept trying to make them as relevant to the story as possible. Yes, I was mentioning this wonderful friend every 5 minutes, and they're like, stop.
They're like, no.
Stop, please. Okay, Frog, do you want to go next or you want me to go next?
I can go next if you want me to. Yeah.
I don't care.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
I will go next. So,
Okay.
our story takes place in a year that I just lost. Hold on, just 1 second.
The year has been lost. It's in
It is
unknown, unidentified.
Unidentified, classified. No, it is the year of 1851 in the Berkshire Mountain Range in western Massachusetts. In this mountain range, there was an idea, right? The Troy and Greenfield Railroad Company wanted to lay some track that would cut through the mountains, and so they began working on a tunnel. Now, this tunnel has an interesting history. On the western end of the tunnel sat the town of Florida, with North Adams holding up the eastern end. And between those towns was about 5 miles of solid rock, a mountain range. This building project was no small undertaking. They expected that it was going to take about $2 million, which back then, is a lot of money. Still kind of a lot of money today, but in the grand scheme of things, for construction, it was a lot of money back then.
Yeah.
So, anyway, it did not end up costing $2 million. I'm gonna go ahead and just preface all of this by saying this. It took about 24 years to wrap things up, and the end cost ended up being $21.2 million. Which I did the math, and that translates to $406,493,207 today.
That is no. Why? It's not worth it. I don't care what they were trying to do. Like, there's no shot it was worth that. 24 years and that much money.
It is a lot of money that they spent back then.
God.
It was a big deal because they wanted to basically establish a really good trading route, and east of the Rocky Mountains, this is the largest trading route in like the pioneer era of all of America. So it was worth it, but not worth it. Not worth it. Ultimately, it was if everything had gone to plan and they only spent the $2 million, it would have been worth.
Sure,
but
yeah.
The problem is that there is a series of tragedies that began to occur. So the problem is in let me see. I kind of got my notes all mixed up. March 20th of
Double-
1865.
Mhm.
A team of explosive experts, right? And I say experts very, very loosely because explosive experts back in 1865, whenever nitroglycerin was a relatively new concept, means that more so that they just hadn't blown themselves up yet.
that I mean, there's like only it's probably a side tangent, but it kind of reminds me of the one like biggest psychology incident that happened where the dude blew something up and his head got hit by a metal rod and he still was like living. He was just a different
I'll be
person.
right back again really
Yeah.
fast. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. Yeah, dude, I
I'm
read
trying to
about
remember.
that.
I'm
That
trying to
was
remember what his
crazy.
name was. I'm trying to remember what his name was.
Yeah.
But that
He
pole went through his brain and everything. Man still lives. He still
yeah.
was like functioning. He was just like
Yeah.
different.
He was different, and he'd taken severe damage to his frontal lobe, so he was prone to like random aggressive outbursts. But for the most part, he was still functional. His IQ had taken a hit, but I mean that's makes sense whenever you have a metal pole that went through your head.
Um,
Yeah.
Phineas. I think it was Phineas.
Phineas Gage,
Gage.
what, is that what he
Gage.
said?
Yeah, Gage. Phineas Gage was one of the most biggest survival of accidents that happened in history. And the reason why, because during this time, this was in 1823, 1860s. During this event, he was doing a railroad. An incident happened, iron rod flown completely through his head, and it destroyed almost everything of his frontal lobe.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, they call it the American crowbar case. It was
Yeah, that's
a
horrible, dude.
it was a very interesting case. Like a lot of psychologists in that like hopped on this because they're like, there's no way that any normal person can survive that circumstance. Which it makes sense. I mean, a metal rod gone through your head. I don't think any person could like survive that unless like you're very very lucky, but that's like unlikely.
Right. I'm looking at pictures of the guy, by the way. If you want to put one of the pictures of the guy on stream, like I know it's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
not
Let
into
me.
what we're
Yeah,
doing, but like,
yeah.
yeah,
No,
dude,
no, no. I
it,
like to do that. Like it's
yeah,
funny because he was carrying the metal pole that did it to him too.
yeah.
Like the
I
dude.
mean, dude, I'd probably keep it as a souvenir if they're like, hey, yeah, this metal pole tried to kill you and it failed because you're just like you're built different, bro. I'd be like, okay, cool. And I'd probably keep that as a trinket, honestly.
I have the picture on my thing, just a picture of him and the metal pole
Yeah.
that kind of like abominizes him. Basically, I've been to Obama. Yeah, basically. So
Been
I'm trying
lobotomized.
to
Look at you, that kid
remember.
got fun.
I'm trying to see. A lot of people say his behavior have changed over the 12 remaining years of his life, which, by the way, his life was cut severely short because of it. He died at 36.
Right. Which I mean, based on like the picture, I mean, I'm sure. Oh yeah, it was like it's at 1823 to 1860. I mean, the life expectancy back then wasn't too great anyway.
Yeah, it was up to like 50, if I recall. Like,
Something
that's
like
like,
that.
if not 60, 60 if you're like, you're actually like lucky in that. And you like
Yeah.
have like a good family, but like this, like the only reason for those who on my stream that can see the picture, the reason why his right, or is that his left technically? Yeah, so the reason why his left eye is closed is because that's where the pole went, and he basically like lost his left eye. Basically,
Yeah. Yo, Malik, you should tell us about Adrian Carton Dewiart. Dewiart. I might be mispronouncing that a little bit.
I
The
mean,
average
I've
lifespan in
been butchering
1900 was
names to
approximately
be honest.
47. Specifically, it was around 46.3 for men and 48.3 years for women. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, not like super high. I mean, he did still die a bit early, but not like incredibly so. I mean, I'm surprised he survived the hole through or the metal pipe through his head at all. Like
Yeah,
that
even
was
the
crazy.
doctors, like the doctors were panicking because they don't even know how to exactly treat the same like this incident,
Yeah,
because like they had to remove a lot of bone fragments, and I mean a lot of bone fragments.
Yeah.
And they basically had to like do a little like drainage of like some of the like fluid, and even the bandage was like only loosely. They couldn't like do a lot, and the fact that
Makes
he
sense.
still like survived after it was like a pure miracle.
Yeah.
Come back. We're talking about fluids. What? What's
Yeah,
happening?
we
No,
were talking about a dude who survived getting a metal pole through his head.
Oh shit.
his
Yeah. A
name
guy
is
named Phineas
yeah,
Gage.
Phineas Gage
Mhm.
was one of the most interesting
We-
from what people say most interesting psychology event because the man basically had a
Mhm.
metal pole just shot. So to give you context, he was working on a railroad. They use
Mhm.
bombs to like not bombs like little TNT, not TNT, dynamite to like blow things up. Dynamite blew it up, flew through his head, and yeah, it was. Oh, he survived it perfectly. It just was tragic.
Yeah. Dude, yeah, that is a really, really interesting case, honestly. Um, that's like I don't even know, bro. Like the fact that he survived, I know his personality was like a bit altered, but the fact that he survived and he was still like sentient, you know? Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like that's what
Um,
like it's because like people has like even like some normal people who you know I wouldn't say normal but some like people who speculate that the chances of you
Mhm.
surviving something like that is as likely as winning the lottery 3 times in a row.
I mean, that's like the people who get struck by lightning repeatedly. Like shit
Okay, they're just
happens.
unfortunate.
Life is random chaos, but sometimes it seems like someone's
Wasn't
really out to get you.
wasn't it that one kid who got shot twice and then the third time he got hit he just decided to stay on the ground because like he had enough like in a single day too, which I felt bad for.
Yeah, it's rough.
um, so in regards to
Thanks, Panther.
yeah. In regards to the tunnel that was being
Mm-hmm.
built, right? In
Yeah.
March 20th of 1865, these explosive experts, quote unquote, um, basically entered the tunnel to plant a charge. They wanted to use explosions because it would make the job go by way quicker.
Mm-hmm.
They could cut on costs and whatnot. Oh,
Makes sense.
that's actually that's the second image, but hey, that one's cool. That
Oh,
one's cool. We could use yeah, that was my bad. I kind of set them in a weird order. that
you,
one's
you
kind
said
of
you
that was
said use the second one, and I was like, okay,
I
bet.
forgot. I forgot.
Tit, tit,
I
tit.
messed up.
All right, well, here we are.
Yeah. Okay. So, basically though, this team of explosive experts goes in there and a dude detonates a charge a little too early. The three people were Brinkman, Nash, and Kelly, right? That was their names. Um, so they ran back to the tunnel to the safety bunker. However, only Kelly made it to safety. Basically, they'd set the explosion off just a bit too early, and they miscalculated it. They buried the other two men alive.
Oh no.
So naturally, Kelly felt horrible about it, but randomly Kelly just went missing, and no one knows where Kelly went. Some people think he skipped town. Some people just like think like I don't they don't know what happened to him. He just went missing,
Yeah.
and they had to find new specialists to basically continue working on this. Uh, Putting together more of the team, they decided, okay, we're going to be a lot more safe about this. We're going to be a lot more cautious. So what they did on this next attempt to dig through this place is they wanted to build a railway tunnel through the mountain complex. And what they did to try and do that is because while working on it, it was going to create like a bunch of like smoke and fumes because of all the things they were using. They're like, all right, we got to be
Mhm.
smart. We don't want to cave in to happen anymore. So they
Yeah.
created a ventilation shaft extended from the surface of the tunnel that allowed fumes and water to be pumped out.
Mhm.
And it would be about 30 feet in diameter, stretch over 1,000 feet down, and connect to the train tunnel below.
Shit.
Now,
All right.
by October of 1867, it was only about 500 feet deep. Essentially, it was a really, really deep hole in the ground. Now, to dig this hole, they kind of built like a small building at the top, which was used to raise and like lower hoists to get the debris out. along
Mhm.
with a pump system to remove groundwater. So they had like this entire setup to like be like a lot more careful, and like they went above instead of going through the mountain. Now, here's the problem.
Here's the problem.
That was early October, and they built this massive fucking pit. On October 17th, about halfway through that month, whenever everything sounded like it was good, a
Mhm.
leaky lantern filled the hoist with natural gas, and essentially blew the place sky high. As a result, things started to fall down from the shaft, and because of how deep that pit was, and because of how many things there were, roughly 300 freshly sharpened drill bits fell down on all the workers there.
Uh,
And yeah, killing tons and tons of people and causing another cave in. And if that wasn't bad enough, the uh, the actual the actual equipment and whatnot, like the pump, all of that broke off too and started flooding the cavern. So there was just like dead bodies and like water flooding this cavern that they were working on because of the explosion. And essentially, they're like, okay, well, we got to try and rescue people because we don't want people to die on our watch again. Um, so they start hoisting people down there. They hoist someone down, right? They're in a basket. While they're hoisting them down, just throw a stick of dynamite in the shaft and run. Yeah, I think explosions are maybe just a bad idea on this shaft in general.
Yeah, I would say so.
Listen,
Oh,
I
Jeez.
honestly feel like this whole story wouldn't have happened if they just like, second incident, let's just stop, okay? Like third time's a charm is not helping here. We already got like a lot of blood in our hand. We don't need to add more.
they they lowered this person down in a bucket basically, or like in a large basket, and they said, "Hey, tell us if you can see any survivors down there." So they start lowering them down into the shaft. Right, it's this really deep pit. Like it's like over 500 feet deep. They manage to see him like frantically waving his hands. They pull him back up, and just as they pull him back up, the worker is basically coughing and asphyxiating because of all the natural gas, and he utters out the words "no hope" before falling into unconsciousness. And when
Oof.
when that happened, they decided to shut down the mine for a little bit. They're like, "Hey, we can't continue to work here. We've lost too many people." They wanted to pack up and they just wanted to stop there, but companies want their mine built. They already paid for the mine. They want their mine built. So they're like
They do.
we want you to go back to work, but you can take a small hiatus. Around this time, people started seeing ghostly apparitions around there of people that would
Mhm.
basically like pop up, leave no footprints, like anywhere they went, and they would give no answers to anyone who called out to them. But they would be wearing mining equipment. Some people report like seeing them as like transparent or like kind of like a bright blue. They would often see them at nighttime. And anyone who was near the cave at night would mention that they would hear voices, see lights, see visions, and odd shapes in the darkness. Some people even mentioned they would hear distant explosions coming from the cave even after it was supposedly not being worked in anymore. Um, a full year after the accident, right? They reopened the shaft. They're like, okay, well, they want us to get back to work. We got to get this done. Let's just be extra careful this time. No unnecessary explosions. Come on, guys. Let's get our shit together. Um, and they reopened the shaft, drained out all 500 feet of water that had flooded it, and whenever they did, they discovered something horrific. And you see that picture that I've supplied above?
Yeah.
That that picture was a raft that people had made of loose wood that had fallen down into the cave, and it showed that people had been trying to survive in the cave down there that entire time. But by the time they went down there was
Jeez.
no survivors.
Yeah, it took too long.
Yeah. Um. So there was people trying to survive in there. Therefore, the cave got a name known as the Bloody Pit, which became its nickname.
Mhm.
Um, about 4 years after, yeah, Donner Party 2, pretty much. Um, it was it was pretty bad. About 4 years after that gas explosion, two men visited the tunnel. A man named James McKinstry. He was a drilling operations superintendent for the project. The other dude was
Mhm.
a guy named Dr. Clifford Owens. Uh, while in the tunnel, both of the men had decided like, okay, let's go ahead and investigate and everything, kind of see what we're working with here. On the night of June 25th, Dr. Clifford Owens wrote this. 1872, James McKinstry and I entered the great excavation at precisely 11:30 p.m. We had traveled about 2 miles into the shaft when we finally halted to rest. Except for the dim, smoky light from our lamps, the place was as cold and as dark as a tomb. James and I stood there talking for a minute or two, and were just about to turn back when I suddenly heard a strange, mournful sound. It was as if someone or something was suffering great pain. The next thing I saw was a dim light coming along the tunnel from a westerly direction. At first, I believed it was probably a workman with a lantern, yet as the light grew closer, it took on a strange blue color and appeared to change shape, almost into the form of a human being without a head. The light seemed to be floating along about a foot or two above the tunnel floor, and the next instant, it felt as if the temperature had suddenly dropped and a cold, icy chill ripped up and down my spine. The headless form came so close that I could have reached out and touched it, but I was too terrified to move. For what seemed like an eternity, McKinstry and I stood there gaping at the headless thing like two, I'm not going to use that word. That's a bad word. So, yeah, sorry about that. The
Old
blue,
timey language. They didn't know
yeah.
better.
yeah. The blue light remained motionless for a few seconds as it was actually looking us over, then floated off toward the east end of the shaft and vanished into thin air. I am above all a realist, nor am I prone to repeating gossip and wild tales that defy a reasonable explanation. However, in all truth, I cannot deny what James McKinstry and I witnessed with our own eyes. So,
They probably believe in
Long-
ghosts after that, honestly.
Yeah,
Like after that whole incident, they're just like, okay, maybe those crazy people weren't so crazy after all.
yeah.
Right.
The rest of the mining operation, eventually through trial and error, like more and more people died, but the other ones are pretty much a lot of the same. It's a lot of explosions going off, a lot of people who were ill prepared, a lot of people who didn't really think these things through and were just reckless. But the most interesting thing that happened is that let me see. Hold on. Okay, I forgot to mention this. I got my notes all mixed up. So, in 1874, a local hunter named Frank Webster simply vanished. And when he finally stumbled up the banks of the Deerfield River 3 days later, he was found by a search party without his rifle and appearing to have been beaten bloody. He claimed he'd been ordered into the tunnel by voices and lights, and once he was inside, he saw ghostly figures and floated and wandered about in the dark. His experience ended when someone unseen reached out, took his rifle from him, and clubbed him with it. He had no memory of walking out of the tunnel. In 1936, a railroad employee named James Mpoco claims he was warned of danger in the tunnel by a mysterious voice. Not once, but twice. Now,
All right.
here's a really, really interesting thing, is that by the time that everything was completed, right, they're wrapping everything up, and someone decides to go back in there to get some equipment, and the interesting thing that they find is they find the missing person, Kelly, like one of the initial people who caused the delayed explosion, the very first one. They found him freshly dead, and it looks like he had been strangled by something inside of the cavern. And
Wait, like-
he died freshly dead, like 2 years later after he went missing.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
And
And
you know,
they-
it's a good point. Could have forgotten because of the head trauma. That could do it. That could
True.
play a factor.
Very, very, very well could have. But this missing person, where he was found and where he was strangled at was the exact spot that he had accidentally caved in the people with that explosion.
Huh.
Yeah. But to this day, that tunnel is open and is finished now, and you can visit it. And people claim that there are hidden rooms and a bunch of ghosts that you can see there.
Fascinating.
You ready to
Yeah.
start the quest, Phil? Make it JoJo Bizarre Adventure?
It is the Hoosac
no,
Tunnel,
no,
also known as the Bloody Pit.
The unskippable side
You know-
quest?
I think I don't want to go to someplace called the Bloody Pit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty spooky. There's like some ghost kids there and stuff apparently. Look at that image right there.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you have the second
That-
image up. Yeah, let me pull that.
That was like one of the most like morbid images to me, because like morbid moments, just the fact that they found like people had made rafts and like had tried to survive and like just like the lakes and lakes of blood.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes
that's-
sense.
No.
Like, you know, survival. People will do anything to survive. It's like that one incident where someone had a plane crash and there was one to go to cannibalism just to keep living.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's a reason why that becomes people's like last resort and things like that, but also it's like, no.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Sounds lovely, especially this time of year. No, no, I don't think it does. I don't.
There he
think
goes
it
there,
does.
especially this time of year. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's pretty much the end of my story.
You posted the thing, Phil. Which order?
Um. So
Is it the big
yeah,
one first,
gets,
and then right, and then down?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
This would be a place I would want to go to just to take pictures, but not like stand there too long.
So we can move on unless anyone's got any questions or anything that they wanna talk about frogs.
Yeah, actually, I got a question, Frog. Would you go to
Yeah,
this
what's up?
place?
Would I go to this place?
Absolutely, yeah.
I think I would, yeah. I mean, I feel like now that it's built, it's probably fine, and I'm not one of the people setting off the explosion, so I think I'd be okay.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I would like give it. I would like give it a try just to see how it goes. I mean,
If
One-time
this was like
experience.
all actively going on, and you asked me if I'd go and work on the cave, the answer would be no.
no, I feel
But-
Sure,
well,
okay, that
that's
makes
called
sense.
natural
That's-
selection. Next place that should be talked about is the Bunny Man Bridge. So
Bunnyman Bridge is
Right.
cool.
the
I like
reason
that.
why I don't
I
like
know Bunnyman Bridge. I know Goatman Bridge.
no, there's a second bridge that's because the Goatman Bridge and Bunny Bridge is almost like the same in like some ways. The Bunnyman Bridge is
Huh.
more of a somebody dressed up as a bunny and then they try to commit murder and that. Only reason why I don't really go over like that because that event seems more as a true crime case versus a cryptid
yeah.
case. Unlike the Goatman, where that case seems like supernatural.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
just me.
it's more in line with the supernatural folklore aspect rather than like true crime serial killer type thing. I got you. I just had never heard of Bunnyman Bridge.
Yeah, someone
You
wore a very poor bunny costume, and they had, I believe they had an axe, if I recall the story.
Hmm.
It was real, but there's a lot of other spooky shit that happens there to this day. I would believe it, honestly.
So that's definitely something we can look into about that as well. Because if there is purports if people died, that could lead to hauntings and things like that. So noted, Bunnyman Bridge. Got it. All right. So we've talked about one cursed place. We're going to talk about another. Now this one here is an interesting one. I'm gonna start off by giving some history about it and a bit of background before we really get into things. This image here shows what remains of a small town in Northern California. This town is called Bodie. If you're from California, you might have heard of it. If you are really into like occult stuff, you might have heard of it. This is purported to be the most cursed place in the state, potentially even the country. As it goes, as the story, as visitors tell it, if you take anything from Bodhi, you will be cursed. And not just like a little like maybe you're gonna stub your toe. Or maybe you'll get a flat tire. Like, no, like this shit's gonna fuck you up kind of curse.
It's like Final Destination. It's
Yeah,
type
like,
of
your life is going to be destroyed kind of curse. So much so that the people who, are like, nah, I don't believe that. I'ma take this bottle. I'ma take this piece of pottery. I'ma take this. Someone took a whole ass piano. They
I
will
want to know how
send
that
the
happened. Did they just like pull up looking for a?
Bro, I don't know. But so much so that they will return the item. They will send the item back via post with letters of apology for taking said items from this town. So, Bodhi has been a ghost town for quite a while. It was first established in 1859, part of the, gold rush to the California mountains, and, was a booming settlement way back. Booming for the times, right? Like, obviously, compared
Yeah.
to now, it's like nothing, but it was officially taken over by the State Park Services in 1962 and has essentially been abandoned since then. The state park works on maintaining the integrity of like structures and stuff as they currently are as much as possible. They don't go for full restoration. They just try to maintain. I've haunted forest in UK, and there's one I remember from YouTube video called Deering Woods, and I'm 100% spending the night there on my own. Okay, well, like Malik, if you
So-
do, just like take precautions and let us know how it goes.
Malik, I want you to, when you come back from said event, you better write it as if it's a dark, what's that? What, Darkwood? Write it like a Darkwood novel.
Pretty cool.
Flashback of the yeah, no. See, that's even better.
Conversely, Malik, if you have stories and would like to come on the show, let us know. So hilariously too, this town was founded by a prospector from New York, W.S. Bodie. But when the town was founded, they spelled his name wrong. When they called it Bodie, they spelled it wrong.
That
It's
kind of
spelled
reminds me of me.
Bodie. His last name was spelled Bodey.
No wonder.
So,
he's
womp
dead,
womp.
bro. It's probably his ghost haunting everyone from spelling his name, bro.
Kind of reminds me of me, where I meant to put a second P in my name, but I kind of forgot it, so now I'm Pemkin.
Pumpkin.
You are just
Hon-
forever pumpkin.
Honestly, it's so iconic though.
I can't
is.
change it now. I told someone, was like, can't you
can't.
just fix it? Nah, I'm already stuck on it. There's no going back now.
Yeah.
So yeah, the California State Parks work to keep Bodie in what they call arrested decay. Essentially, how it is now, but not decaying any further. So that you can still have a semblance of an idea of like what it looked like back then, but also not having it deteriorate any further. Darkwood, Zeke,
Darkwood is an amazing
that
game.
that is too much. I don't
The game is
understand
amazing.
it.
It's a masterpiece. Once you understand it, you go somewhere. It's like Pathological. Once you understand Pathological, you can actually push farther.
So, if you wanna switch over to image number 2,
Number 2, as
I
I
like
hold the
pretend like
number
we're
2.
working
which is
slide.
the pool table. Oh, is that Frog?
That's I like to pretend like we're like working like the slides, like it's like the old
Oh, yeah.
projectors in the glass. Like it's like yes.
Yes. So, they really do try to make it look as if, people we're just here, even though it's been like 50 something years since anyone was. But that also means that there's a lot of stuff just lying around.
You said a lot of free loot lying around.
No, Nietzsche, no.
That's the whole point, Nietzsche. The whole point is you don't want to take anything from Bodhi, because if you take something from Bodhi, you are going to be cursed.
Something tells me you avoid this area not because it's cursed, but because you're a loot goblin and you just grab everything.
I feel like that would be like low key really smart if like a serial killer like hit a body there, because like if the police take it, they're gonna get cursed, bro.
Yeah, no, I mean that is true.
Yeah, it's
So the origins of this curse, like when you first started hearing about it, was back in around 1962 when the National Park Service first took over care of Bodhi. And since then, a lot of the staff would be sure to tell visitors, don't take anything from Bodhi, for if you do, you risk getting cursed. You don't want that. Of course not. Well, why don't we switch over to the last.
Actually, I got a
Just to-
question.
That's actually really, really cool, though. I'm like locked in on this.
I got a question, actually.
Yeah, what's
So
your
if
question,
you
Ethan?
take something, right, and you get cursed, what if you pass
Yeah.
that item to another person? Won't they get cursed? So,
I'm not entirely sure. Typically, what ends up happening is they do send the item back in an attempt to alleviate the curse.
So like they can't play like hot potato with it, and just like start giving it to random people
don't-
and say good luck.
I don't know, honestly. Goblin, hold that thought. Hold that thought. So again, here's another instance of just it looking very much like someone could have left yesterday, and there's, whole ass dishes set just on the table. So
What if
here's
it's no, go on.
here's the thing. Some of you may be familiar with the concept of manifestation. If you say something enough times and to enough people, you can make it true if you're not careful. You know who cursed Bodhi? The Park Service.
Shit.
I was about to say
The
probably
National
Bodhi.
Park Service that took over care of Bodhi is the reason why. Now, it gets even funnier, okay? So, as I mentioned, the way people try to alleviate this curse is by sending the items back. Now, taking anything from Bodhi counts as theft. You are stealing from a national park. That's how it goes. It's everything there is property of the state, and you have stolen. So, when someone takes something and sends it back, the park rangers now have to file a police report on every single thing. And people get curious. People don't believe it. People want to test it. So they take a lot of stuff. And over the years, so many things have been taken and returned because of this curse that the Park Service doesn't even know where it goes. They have their own separate room of where they keep all of the returned items because they don't know what to do with them.
What if? Hear me out. What if it was the camp service just like doing terrible things to these people? What if they said it's a curse and it's just them, like pulling the strings all along?
No, because see, when things get returned, they come with letters such as, "You can have these godforsaken rocks back. I've never had so much rotten luck in my life. Please forgive me for ever testing the curse of Bodhi." That's from someone who just took some rocks. Other ones. "Please find enclosed one weather-beaten old shoe. The shoe was removed from Bodhi during the month of August 1978. My trail of misfortune is so long and depressing it can't be listed here.
Bro.
Dear Bodhi, I'm so sorry that this piece of metal from the town I thought was all a joke, but it wasn't at all. Things are happening that are very hard to explain. I send the purloined goods along with my deepest apologies to whatever spirit I have offended. I feel better already. Confession really is good for the soul. Fair warning for anyone that thinks this is just folklore. My life has never seen such turmoil. Please take my warning and do not remove even a speck of dust." These are actual letters that people have sent back to the town with whatever item it is that they took. Again, in some cases, it was as simple as a bunch of rocks. Now, when you first hear that, you think like, holy shit, like this place is so cursed, like, oh my goodness. But then you find out. It was all because that was a rumor that was perpetuated, because back in the 60s they were like, hey, if we say this, maybe no one won't take anything. Now the Park Service has a much different approach. Now they try to go along the lines of education and preservation to encourage people to not take items
So
and try to avoid the curse. But it is so prolifically online that so many people know about it. Yes, Nietzsche, sorry.
I was gonna say, so the place isn't actually cursed. It's just like someone gaslighted a whole group of people and they just believe it.
Huh.
Manifestation.
No, my dear precious pumpkin. The place is in fact cursed. It absolutely is cursed. It's the origin of the curse that is more interesting. Because with the trail of letters and artifacts that they have received back, and the amount of police reports that the park rangers have had to file, the amount of extra work they have given themselves by starting this silly little rumor way back, it can't be stopped.
The curse was the friends we made along the way.
In a way, yeah. It is now this town is now cursed. But not by some deceased spirit, not by any ill intention. It was cursed with the best of intentions. In the desire for preservation. Think now. I want to take a moment to think now of all of those people who have had such horrible things befall them because they took a small item from the town. Did they deserve it? Is the Park Service at fault for whatever it is that happened? For any bad luck? For any harm that was caused? Even if it was not intentional?
I feel like it's understandable if things happen when you take a big item, but I still feel like taking a speck of dust, if not a rock, is a little excessive. I don't know. That's just me.
Mhm.
That's a little much.
But
Pondering.
it's true. In fact, when I first heard about this town, I was also told that like you need to clean off your shoes before you get into your car to not even take home the dirt, because of the risk of the curse is so great and so potent. The power of thought. The collective hive mind of humans is truly fascinating if you really dig into it. And manifestation can work, but the circumstances need to be right. You need to be able to proliferate it to enough people. And again, you have a place where you get visitors. You know, it's obviously not, a Yellowstone or a Disneyland or something where you've got like hundreds of thousands of people. But even just like 1,000 people. 1,000 people in a year hear that this place is cursed. And then they're going to go home, right? They're going to go home and they're going to tell all their friends. They're going to tell all their friends about this place that they went and about the curse. And now more people know about it. More people believe it. What seems like a harmless rumor. Sorry, Frog.
No, you're good. I was like manifestations and like the power of human thought. That's so crazy. Yeah.
Because even now, the park ranger service actually like Franklin arm.
Break this hard.
The Falcon Chat was thinking what would happen if dust got on your clothes and you leave it's still on you. I mean, I don't know. I can't say
You're
for
just
sure. I would
screwed.
imagine that like the dust actually doesn't do anything. It's just like a precaution. Because also think about it like this way too. If you drive there, like your tire wheels are gonna pick it up. Like
Yeah.
it's in the middle of the desert. It's in
Honestly,
the middle of the like desert mountains. There's dirt everywhere.
since it's like a curse, a lot of it could be like interpreted as like intent as well. So like
Hmm.
accidentally taking something back with you because it gets caught on the bottom of your shoe versus like intentionally taking something back with you could have two entirely different outcomes.
Honestly, I don't know why I'm picturing it in my head, but like, what if you pick up an item, you get bad luck, but you get a speck of dust on accident, you suffer more bad luck from that than you are from stealing?
No, I would imagine that it is intention. Um because it is like caused by the manifestation. It likely is. I can't say for sure. Hilariously, it's only a few hours from where I live, so like there's a small part of me that's like tempted to maybe go check it out at some point if I can either get a car or convince one of my housemates to go on a road trip with
You
me.
should just tell them that we're going to go on a friendly like road trip to this area, but don't mention the curse part.
How would you guys like to collect some cool rocks?
Yeah, no, I couldn't do that.
I
But you know,
wouldn't say
to just
that
go
part,
and like
really.
check it out. I would definitely be like, don't pick anything up though. And yeah, it's the park service also admits that it was not the best idea to do. It was not it was not the right approach to take with this, and they do regret it. They regret that they started this. So I accidentally took this entire chest of treasure with me. God damn it, happens all the time.
I would go
Why are
hide
you
my
finding an
pirate
entire
treasure there.
chest of treasure? You freaking pirate.
So
So-
you get cursed as long as you leave the place. What if you just go in the place, just burn everything to ashes, just walk away? They let that slide, but they won't let you take in a
no.
simple rock slide.
No, I don't think that would slide, Michi. Hey, sweets, thank you. I don't think you could do that. I suspect that they would arrest you, and that would be like a federal crime. But also, who knows? Maybe that would cleanse it of the curse, or maybe that would make it so much worse for you because you just destroyed it. They clearly did not have good parameters when they were setting this up, right? Because they didn't know. They thought they were just trying to dissuade people from taking stuff. Little did they know that they would have a decades-long series of consequences of people. Actually, here's one that's really good. So sorry for picking these up. I love antiques, and being a Christian, I felt so guilty for taking these on Monday. Not to mention Tuesday, we got a flat tire, and my husband hit his head on a rock. That's from 1998.
That's ironic. That's actually pretty ironic. I'm not even gonna lie.
Damn, can I get an F in the chat for her husband?
Right?
Oh, give him a
Please
rock.
manifest
Give him a rock in the chat.
Can we get rocks in the chat?
No one can take anything from the town if you carpet bomb it. It is a
Yes.
historical site.
Yes, I cleared. Yes, I cleared the area off the map.
I mean, it is interesting to be able to like look at the town and see like the different buildings and stuff. The Christian, he should have known better and steal. I mean, yeah, no, absolutely. I feel like that's one of the things that they tell you, but but still, it's just interesting that it doesn't matter who you who you are or what you take. Bad things tend to happen.
To
So,
good people.
again, they're desperately trying to undo it by saying it's not cursed. It's just better to not steal. And again, it can't be undone. It's decades long at this point. The first letter that I saw an example of is from 1978. I'm pretty sure none of us were even like a thought back then.
Damn.
Okay.
So yeah, they done fucked up on this one. Your mom was 3. yeah, exactly. Like this goes back a long ways. I mean, Goblin, I've always been a thought, but definitely not back in the 70s. Definitely didn't start that until the 90s. Yeah, sure, we'll go with that. I am. Take it you'll be a branded racist, Wyatt. Seek what's happening. Also, yes, Christians are definitely notorious for stealing things. Hobby Lobby, what? Sorry, something got caught in my throat there. But yeah. So Frog's place is cursed because of death and accidents. Mine is cursed because people are dumb. Remember,
Yeah.
all of your actions have consequences. Maybe try to think them through if you're in a position of power. Just saying.
And
Maybe you don't. Maybe you don't always gotta take things from cursed towns, and maybe you don't always have to keep digging through the side of a mountain, even though you keep causing explosions on accident and killing a bunch of your workers. But and hey, also watch out for flying pterodactyls that shoot laser beams. You gotta be careful for all that.
But maybe also don't lie about places being cursed
True.
to try to prevent people from stealing.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah, it could have been way
yeah.
worse.
Can you
No,
fuck the pterodactyls?
Goblin, no.
I give you
I
my
mean, you
blessing,
could
Goblin
try.
Corn. I give you my blessing, Goblin Corn.
You can always try.
And I'm assuming we are ending right here.
Well, that's
That was good. I like that.
that's
I was
what
like,
we got. Yeah.
yeah, I was locked in. I like the pterodactyls. I like the cursed town. I like talking about the bloody pit with the raft and stuff. This is
Yeah.
a cool little episode. A little 4.5,
Yeah.
episode
But
4.2.
part
Electric
2.
Boogaloo.
The mysterious episode 4.
Episode 4.2, Return of Jafar.
Exactly.
Okay.
So yeah, with that, do you wanna rate out Nietzsche?
Yeah, I was gonna rate out the Sampire.
Okay, sounds good.
Wes, you got a suggestion?
Sure, yeah, we could do that. That sounds good. Let me just get my raid stuff going. I will be back tomorrow streaming some Doom Eternal. We're gonna be starting a little bit earlier since it is a holiday and I'll have to work. It'll be at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. If you are around and want to hang out, I'll be live for probably 4 to 5 hours, if not longer. And yeah. I know it's a holiday, so no worries if you are elsewhere, but
I'm gonna be gone for the entire weekend, to be honest. Going Cedar Point and such. So
No, sweet.
you say that. You say
Hi.
sweet.
Oh, is it not sweet?
I hate 2 of the
Ooh, not
rides
sweet,
there.
bro.
I hate 2.
I hate Cedar Point. I don't know. I've never
No,
been.
the place is fine. A couple rides are great. I just don't like 2 of the rides. One made me religious for 5 minutes. The other one just
Oh.
hurts my
Oh.
thighs.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
That's
it's all
rough.
good. Maybe staring
All
at the
right.
ground 100 feet in the air doesn't help the mental.
No, it wouldn't. Be safe, everyone who's celebrating tomorrow, and take care of yourselves. Get lots of good rest, and we'll see you all later.
Bye bye.
Bye, bye, bye,
Bye.
bye. Sorry, I'm just genuinely a little iffy on